let's just keep working with some others materials. So let's just start to be working with some matter materials. Let's go to the Revit for advanced material. Let's just click in here to open the window. Let's just right click in here, open window as we made before. This is where we're going to see our object or our material in a better look. So let's just check this off and check this off. We're going to work with a shiny metal material. So this is pretty easy to work. So go for the fuse layer 1. This is where we give a color or texture. In this case, we would take this value for about 10 to work with the metal material. So let's go to add reflection for our layer. Go to a specular layer 1. Let's just leave a specular type as I said before. For the metal material, we always leave this on blend. The brightness of this material, I would take this down a bit, not to leave it 100% white. For a specular layer transparency, our IOR is going to be from 15 or could be 20. You already look as a metal material, so let's just take this down. For our reflection glossiness, let's reduce this for about 85 to give it some diffusion to the reflection of this object. The glossiness subdivision, we'll leave this just at 8 subdivision for the meantime because we are working testing render. Let's go to add another reflection. Let's go for the specular layer 2. Let's use, as I said before, let's reduce this like for about 70. For specular layer transparency, let's take this to 20. And for our reflections glossiness, let's leave this 1.9. Now our subdivision, let's just leave it this way. Let's just close this. You can select the object, and instead to drag it down in here or onto this object, let's just delete this. Just to let you know, you can select the object and go right click in here and go to apply. The material will be applied to the object that it has been selected previously. So let's go ahead and render it to see how our shiny metal material looks like. As you can see already, before to be any rendering, it has a really good reflection. This object is gonna get a better look when we have all of the objects around with materials, because as we have just white color around it, it doesn't get like a really realistic metal material, and it actually looks good for me. It's a shiny metal material, as you can see. So I want you to practice this, guys. It's a very easy to do from all of the metal materials I know. So just practice this. We're going to keep working with some others type of metal materials to let you know how to work with. And then when we finish to learn how to create different materials, we're going to start to make our material for this interior rendering. So practice this, guys, and see you on the next metal material in these testing object or the areas. So keep practicing, guys, and see you on the next material. testing. Hey guys, let's just carry on with some other metal materials. Now we're going to make two different metals material. One is going to be the first one we're going to do right now is going to be the brushed metal material. It's pretty much close to the same properties we make for this one, but I'm going to make this from the very beginning uh, for you to get a better practice. So let's go to the Revit for the advanced material. Let's just double click in here as I said before. Let's open a window and let's set this to an object of shadow. So let's just check this off guys, as you already know. As a brush material, I would take this value at 10%. Let's go for the specular layer 1 and let's increase this as I said before for 20. So specular layer type will have this on blend, and in here the kind of difference that we're going to make is gonna shake this off just to give it a better look in here, because I need a brightness to brush, to use the brush material on this area. So I will increase this value just a bit. Let me go ahead, it has to be a little bit, there you go, because as the metal material it has to be a smaller point. Remember that for woods or plastic material it has to be around this size, but for metal material it goes from this size and higher value. So let's just leave it in here and let's see, a little slower. So no, what we're going to do is that after we have this, you would Google this, what is called a brush metal material. I already have it in here. Let's just go ahead and save this one. Let's call this brush metal. So let's just save this object. Let's take this down. Let's go to the array again, into a specular layer 1 on the top in here where it says specular layer color. We're going to open the brush metal material. Just let's reduce this like for about 1.3, and to break this down, that brightness that we have in here, this is actually what we want to work with. Let's just take this down from here and let's drop this into the high glossiness where it's going to soften this a bit. Let's just reduce this amount. Let's actually set this into square. Well, let me see some. I guess in here it's way too high, so let's just leave it in there. Let's drag this to again. Let's see how our material looks like. As you can see, this is pretty much close to the last material we made, with the differences that we have some lines going around our object and actually break a bit the reflections of our object. We can increase this if we want to notice this a little bit more. Let's just close this down. Let's just double click in here again. I will increase this a bit for about maybe 1.45. Let's wait for this to see how it look. Let's go ahead and render this. Actually going to make a small area in here to work a little bit faster. As you can see already, we see like all of the lines in here as a brushed metal material. So it gives us a better look to our metal, not to be maybe like very reflective or so shiny. It gives the material to the photorealistic look just this way. Let me just go ahead and close this down, guys. As I said before, this material is pretty much the same as the first one we made in here, but this one is it has no line in there, so it has instead of rush material, as I said before, of course this is the what we call rush material, but it's almost the same. With the difference that we load our texture for specular color, instead of give it a color, remember that we reduce this amount. Instead of make this, just load a texture in here, and you can reduce the amount of a texture applied. If you increase this, of course, you would notice a little bit more all of the lines into our rendering. Of course, if we increase this as well, you would notice much detail. You will see much more all of the lines of a texture that we have. So this is pretty much it, guys, for the brush metal material. Just practice this and see the next video where we're going to have some other metal materials, guys. So keep practicing and see you to the net testing material. Hey guys, right now we're going to be working with some other metal materials, as I said before. This one's going to be a type of gold material. Let's go to the ray rich. Let's go for advanced material as well. You already know all of this, as I said before. In this case, let's just check all of this stuff. In this case, we're going to take this one as a basic type of jello material in here. And here, let's go for a texture. Let's apply maybe a surface. Let's see some maybe a rust material. Let me just go ahead in here. Let me maybe take this to the 10%. Get 60% is good. So I would take this to a very clear yellow material. I would take this in the opposite weight, maybe a type of dark metal material. This is, let me just move this way. But this is going to be a little bit higher. Well, for about this way, guys. So then after you have this, let's go back to the diffuse layer. Let me open this for you to see this better. In this case, let's go here where it say mix mode, where this is where we mix this texture with the color that we have in here. Let's set this in to multiply. There you go. I guess has to be a little bit darker. There you go. So in here, let's go for the speckle layer 1. Let's give it type of yellow look. So remember guys, we're working with a type of a gold material. Let's increase this maybe 8. There you go. So for this object, remember as a matter material, we'll leave this on blend. And here we're going ahead and shake this off, and I will increase this amount of it. And here I want to break down that sort of a brightness that we have in here as we made on the brush metal material. Let's go ahead and get the brush metal. There you go. Let's set this into square and let's reduce just a bit. We'll increase it to like for about 12. And for our reflection glossiness, I will reduce this for about 1.8. For the meta material, I guess I'm going to apply another specular layer, but for the meantime, let's just apply this. Let's give it a look to this metal material. I guess it looks like kind of good, but I would like to save a little, be like more darker, or and a little bit more darker, I guess, and better and a little bit more of reflection. I don't know. I guess it looks okay, but it could be much better. So we will see that anyway in the final rendering when we start working with materials. Maybe I'm going to apply a meta material for this. I'm not sure yet. But in this case, let me just leave it this way. I will close this. As we have already a gold metal material, you can actually, the same way, if you go here, like throughout this color, maybe a little bit more darker. Let's go ahead and here, let's change this maybe to, let me see, to there. Let's go here, and I'll take a little bit of this color and let's make it a little bit clear. Let me just go back. This has been set into multiply. I go for the diffuse layer color and let's take this up a bit. Because it could be like a little bit darker. There you go. This is for a copper material. Looks okay. This has been the same gold material. All I changed was the colors of our material. Let's see how it look. But as a metal material, it's a gold material, and the copper material has like the same look on rendering. So it could be a little bit more reddish. Let's just close this down. Let's go back to the diffuse layer. Take this for about close to a red color. And here, let's take this close to the red color. Onto the red color as well. Our specular, I would take this to there. Let me go ahead and sit. There you go. Actually has a better aspect. So this is how you work with a copper material and gold material. It has the same informations. So let me close this down. As you can see, as a gold material or a copper, it has all of the same aspect. Something else that you could do, maybe if you like, if you go to a bump, we can go ahead and add as well these brush material. Let's say that. So let's see how it looks maybe with 0.45. Let's go ahead and render this. All it would does is it will bring detail to our object, but this is actually really bad. Let me just close this down. This was like way too high. I did this to 0.1 to see how it look. Let's go ahead and render it again. Well, let's see. Set this to 1.06. There you are. It looks really good. Remember though, there's a couple of letters that we see in here. This is because of all of the graining that we have as we're working with the testing rendering. So, but for the meantime, guys, you can leave this material this way. It looks okay. For final rendering, you will see that it will get much better when we get all of this information, all of the grainy area stuff from the objects. So keep practicing this, guys, how to make a gold or a copper material for you to get this without be looking what I'm doing. Just trying to practice yourself, try to make it yourself, to get in touch with all of this information in here, guys, to how to work with all of them. So see you to the next guy. Now we're going to be working with another metal material. This one I call it actually a stuff metal material. Let's go ahead and create this one. As you already know this, I am going to explain it. We already have seen this a couple of times, so let's just go ahead and make this. This one is actually as well pretty easy to do. Let's just take this off. For the diffuse layer of our material, remember that most of the material that we made before we went to 10%. On this one we go to a 50%. It's going to be medium gray. Let's go for the specular layer 1. For our specular color, I will set this to a 50% as well. So for this one, I will take the specular layer transparency. The IOR is going to be set at 12% to give you our reflections. Remember, as a metal material, we're going always leave this on plane. Let's take this down, and right here, let's just check this off. I will increase that brightness in there. Sorry, guys. So in here, for our reflection glossiness, I would take this in a low value, like for about 60, 65. I don't know. I guess it works good. So let's matter material. Let's take these to maybe 12 just to give it a better look for the meantime. So we go to add another specular layer for this material. I will take this for about 65. There you go. So I'll leave it on blink. The first scenario are, let's take this to 12 as we made in the last one. On this case, of course, let's check this off. I will increase this value a bit. For this one, I will take the reflection glossiness for about 0.45. Remember, our material is not gonna look to the way it shows it in here. It's going to be different. So I will set this to 12 subdivision. Let's go ahead and apply this material to our object. Let's go ahead and render it. Let's see how this material looks like. There you go. This is as I said, this is just a medium gray metal material. We use this a lot for doors, fist. Yeah, it's a really good material for this one. Remember guys, this is very grainy on this time, but it looks okay to me. When we go for final rendering, I will let you know how to fix all of these things and do with all of this information in a very good way. So as a medium soft material, it's a 50% grade. It looks okay to me. So I practice this material as well as all of the materials that we have seen before. This is like pretty much some of the same thing for metals. So going to make some other metal materials for you to keep understanding how to create them, how to work with metal materials in an easy way. So keep practicing this.